era, where a lot of things were going on in the world. We have the Iran war, we have the movement here in the U.S. We have social movement. This specific student movement was not unique to the U.S. It also progressed that Japan and Mexico. And I chose to focus on Mexico for the movement because I've always heard about it growing up, but I never knew what happened. It was students trying to get rid of the government or, pressure, but I really didn't know how it started or even people that I talked to didn't know. They're like, oh yeah, it happened, but they didn't even know what was behind it. So, in order to start this, I needed to look into the economy at the time, the government, and several different stuff that were going around in Mexico during this time. During this time, Mexico was getting a lot of attention because it had an economic boom. It became known as the miracle of Mexico because it was a third world country that was moving into modernity, the first one in Latin America. So people were very amazed that this was happening in Mexico. Industry was expanding. The money that was coming into the country was actually being invested in projects inside the country. And thanks to that boom, it created a middle class that hadn't existed before in Mexico. Before it used to be the rich and the powerful, and then the rest of the people that were poor. And because it did middle class, it also allowed for more students to enter the university, get educated, and actually be aware of what was going on in the country. And one of the things that they noticed was that the discrepancy in economics, that there was a small upper class, a smaller middle class, and a rich lower class. 72% of the population here in America earns less than $60 a month. How can they be portraying such a economic boom in the country in misery? The government in Mexico claims to be a democracy, but it was actually just a one-party democracy. The PRE, which is the Partido Revolucionario ruled the country for the last 40 years, since the revolution. They portrayed that it was a policy of the Mexican Revolution and always embrace everything that has to do with the revolution in order for the people to actually believe them, because that was one of the most tolerant of the Mexican people that they were able to, finally get rid of the Porfiriato period, which was when Porfirio was emperor for a long time. There was another successor there. So that's how the party was able to control another 40 years, saying that they were a democracy, but still the same thing. One of the interesting things that I found is representing the government was that the priest was the government and the government was the priest. So there was no difference between the party and the actual government. Carlos Mendoza, a former president of the Tea Party, who was fired in 1965 for trying to democratize the party, said that to avoid bothering the residents to vote, the mayor was elected by the government, the president, and the president by the party. There was no real democracy, and it was also seen when they had control of everything, except the university. That's the only part that the government couldn't control it was going to create this movement to actually become a movement, stand. And they had control of the media. The media said everything that the government would tell them. They wouldn't investigate, they wouldn't speak, it was whatever the government said. The president during this time, during the movement, was he had a very strong character. He told the people what they wanted to hear, but at the same time, punished those that did not follow what he wanted. An example is El Diario de Mexico. Made a mistake in one of the captions that they had, where they had the arrival of new team candidates in the school of Mexico, and something that they did, and it was doing, so they mistakenly switched the captain, and whatever it was, the team countries are happy to be in their uniform under the president's photo. He was so mad that they did that, but days later they took down the newspaper, saying that it was a presidential order. So he was a very strong member who now that should be portrayed wrong. One of the things that during the 1968 movement was the Olympic Games. Mexico had won the Olympic Games, the 19th Olympic Games, because of the way they portrayed the country to be a new modern country, something out of the third world, the first Latin American country to achieve this. So it was a big trophy with them to actually obtain it. And so the government was not going to allow anyone or anything to intervene between their prestigious moments. And so they weren't going to do anything to try to stop anyone from, overshadow that moment. During this time, just like in the rest of the world, students got influenced by the low sex and rock and roll culture. One of the big parts that they embraced was the music of rock and roll. So they expressed the challenge of authority. And during this time, they really noticed what the government was doing, and this was the one way they could actually express themselves through rock and roll. The actual student movement did not begin in 1968. Students have been involved in different types of protests, supporting other, such as doctors that had 4 years earlier protested against the government for the situations that we're in, and they also protested against the U.S. government, for the Vietnam War, for the Cuban blockade, and several other anti-U.S. protests. The movement spread and actually began in July over a fight between two sides. They fought over a football game. The police came and picked them up. It wouldn't have been a big deal, but these two schools were related to the two big universities in the city, the NAM and the National Polytechnical Institute. The college students, they were really upset at the way that the police managed the younger students, so they began to protest against police brutality. As the movement progressed, they also implemented the discrepancies between economic and social justice, and the government won't part of it, because part of being having a bigger population in the university, you get more awareness of what's going on. So they wanted to use this movement to actually address the other things that they weren't happy about. This movement lasted over 2 months, and each protest and demonstration they had ended in violence, ended in people being dead, and the government never actually showed that there were dead people, because they were very upset and hiding their bodies, and nobody knew what happened to them. The movement did not stop, but it did come to a halt in October 2nd, 1968, when the leaders of the movement had just been released from jail, and they set up a meeting at the Plaza de Cultura, which is basically, you have a colonial cathedral, the Aztec ruins, and then the modern building. And so inside the plaza, they were ambushed by the military. Before that, the student leaders knew that something was going to happen, so they also canceled a protest that was going to have right after. As soon as they said that the protest to the National Polytechnical Institute was canceled, gunfire was heard, and so they tried to control. It was too late, because the massacre began right after they were trying to keep control There's an Italian journalist, brenda, who was in the building with the leaders, and she recounted that when she saw the helicopter, because right before the shooting began, a helicopter passed by really low with the people and dropped some flares, like, and then it left, and then it came back and it dropped another flare, like, kind of like a signal there, to allow the people to start shooting it. So she said that when she was there, she told them something bad is going to happen, and the leaders responded that you're not in Vietnam, something's going to happen, and then that's when the students got arrested. The bodies that were there got hit because the police cut the lights, cut any communication outside, and took away all the images that reporters that were there because of the Olympics had images, so they took all of that, and they were able to play for a couple of days. No one, when the Olympics came, no one did anything to protest against it. Well, actually, I didn't know my PowerPoint, but I have those are the pictures from students. This picture was 30 years